Can you give me some paper so I can look like I'm a detective too? I'm a slacker.
Yeah, of course.
I'm a slack off detective.
You're the detective that like always is about to get suspended, but then they crack the biggest case of the century. The wild card.
Wait, what kind of detective are you?
I'm the detective that when you guys do some fucking crazy shit, I'm always just like, and then I follow you guys into the darkness.
Really? Yeah. I'm the one that like I always get the wrong guy.
No, you're the one.
Trust me, he was there.
No, you're the one.
There's no evidence. There's evidence against him being there. Trust me.
Trust me.
You're the detective that's been that's been a detective for 30 years. So that's the only reason why we respect you, because you're way older than us.
And I get like wrongful confessions all the time.
And then like you always give us advice and we're like, how can he strangle all those people? And you're just like, sometimes the answer is not where you expect it to be. And we're just like, why aren't you retired yet?
Welcome back to Isimo. My name is Gerardo Larcon.
And I'm Melvin Diaz.
I'm Joe Romero.
Too deep.
Today, okay. I'm Joe Romero.
That's too light. That's
too light. Yeah.
Joe Romero.
Yes, and today, we're typically an auditory podcast, no need for visuals, but today is very important for you to join us in the visual component of the podcast on YouTube. If you haven't already, please subscribe. We are, if you guys didn't know, we are actually detectives.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
I went to school for this.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're LAPD.
Long time.
I'm SF. You're LA? I'm SF, dude.
Oh, you're in New York.
I'm NYPD.
You're NYPD
I'm
from
200 years old.
1922. Yeah.
I'm very old. I'm here to teach the young guys how to do it.
Yeah.
Because I've seen you guys work. You're doing a lot of things wrong. Missing a lot of clues.
Really?
Yeah.
What are you drinking in there?
Huh? Yeah.
What are you drinking?
He's an alcoholic detective.
I can't tell you. I can't tell you. I can't tell you.
But anyway, so yes, today is the second part of our true crime series. Last time we had another detective on the force.
Yes.
That unfortunately put in his 2 weeks.
Put in his 2 weeks, yeah.
Yes.
Put in his 2 weeks and then died.
No, that's not true.
And it was an unsolved murder.
It was an unsolved murder that I've been trying to crack, but the clues aren't there. It's not clicking together.
Yeah. It makes Joel really upset.
Yeah. Fucking, fuck! I killed him. I killed that fucker. I killed that fool. No.
But anyways, yes, welcome back to Isimo. We have Patreon if you want to go check that out. We stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/Isimo World. Ain't that right?
At twitch.tv/Isimo World.
And we might dress up like this for then too. You know what I mean?
And it looks good. We look good in this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think we look fantastic, all three of us.
You know what sucks though is that this is my grandpa's jacket. Mm-hmm. I've always just kept it since he died. And it fits me perfectly now. I'm going to get a gym membership.
Ooh. Oh, yeah.
I'm going to crack that case.
You've been trying to.
It's hard.
But you need help.
I have no leads.
You need help.
Yeah.
You're good at cracking too, because you have a really long crack.
I have a big crack. And also, speaking of cracking, I had a different shirt on earlier and the button popped. So, yep. Yeah.
You shouldn't have told us that.
That was another clue. Yeah.
That's another clue. That's a clue. You're about to crack this case. You're like, what should I do about my weight? I should lose it.
I think you look good the way you are, though.
Thank you. And that's why I appreciate your insight on the force.
Like I said, I've been doing this for 345 years. I'm a very old guy. Old school guy, people call me.
Yeah.
People call me Old School Joe.
Yeah.
Or Theo Joe.
Yeah.
For many different reasons.
Yeah, how was the Great Depression, by the way?
I was doing great. I ate a lot of good stuff. I got a lot of money. A lot of people dying. A lot of people hungry. But I was like, what's going on here? Why are people in line for food, for bread? I ain't that bullshit. I eat my own shit. Dog, I make my own food. I fucking raise crops. I raise children.
No detective talks like that.
Because back in that time, I was a different person. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I was like a more rugged, like a fucking a gritty guy. Now as an adult who's 355 years old, Great Depression, past everything.
Yeah, I heard that you were vital to the takedown of Al Capone.
I heard that too. And I can neither confirm nor deny that. Yeah. I can't talk about these things. You know, did I track down Pablo Escobar? Did I track down?
No. Let me answer these. No.
No.
I can neither confirm nor deny all these things. Okay. All I know is I've been around the block.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, like I said, this is the second edition of our true crime series, and we'll possibly be doing more with more extravagant outfits because these are the most important part of being a detective is dressing nice, right?
100%.
Yes.
It's vital to our job, to our mission.
Yes.
And people know when we walk into the room that we mean business, and you're going to fucking jail.
Yeah. Okay. Innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah,
we always
yeah.
got to remind this guy.
This guy starts hitting
hitting
people, torturing them without fucking reason.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yes. When I was in my young days, I used to go into these interrogations without this.
It's so hard for him to say words. Even in character.
No, because I grew up
coffee.
I grew up in different parts of the world.
Yeah.
So I know like 40, 50 different languages, okay?
Yeah.
Either way. This is very important to us. I tried to do some interrogations when I was younger without this suit, and they didn't take me seriously.
Yes.
Okay, exactly.
Until I put on this hat, everything changed.
Yeah.
Boom.
That's all I'm saying.
And I will also say that on the force, Melvin is known to hit somebody when they ask for a lawyer.
Yeah. And that's why a lot of the criminals get off.
Yeah.
They don't go to jail because I fuck it up. I mess it up. I hit them too soon. But usually
go for it.
we brainstorm.
Yes.
We brainstorm cases, and this is just another one of these brainstorms, and we're gonna talk about cases.
We all have our different strengths.
Yes.
Right? Yes. As you saw at the beginning of the episode, we all have our different core values.
100%.
For me, I'm a little lazy, not going to lie. Okay. Joel's the gut instinct.
Yeah.
Pure gut
Joel is
instinct.
pure racist gut instinct.
Oh, yeah.
No, not race. Depending on what race. No, it doesn't. I don't see.
racist,
No, I don't see race. But I know when someone's guilty or not.
Yeah.
I know. I don't need evidence. People are like, "Oh, the jury is like, there's no evidence." I'm like, I know he's fucking guilty.
My biggest flaw is that I'm too forgiving. I'm too forgiving, and I can have a murderer in front of me, and I could be like, you know what? Was it hot that day? Did you just were you not feeling good? You know what? Just give him like a year or two in jail. I'm very forgiving.
That's still a lot of time, though.
Yeah, his sentence is going to see The Lion King at Pantages.
Yeah, I don't like the way you did that.
That's actually a gift. That's a gift. That would be,
no.
That's a gift. No, if I were to sentence a person, it would be watch the Daniel episodes of Isimo. I'm too soon. Cut that out.
Too
cut that
soon.
out.
What the fuck was that, dude?
RIP.
You need to get your head in the game, dude.
It's just since I'm a detective, I go on these drunken benders sometimes.
Yeah, he
and I'm
does.
drunk right now.
You need to focus.
Yeah.
People are counting on us.
Yeah, and I'm tired of having these work parties where we talk about your sobriety. All right. The whole office gets excited, and the next thing you know, you're naked running down the aisle.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need to see your penis.
I know.
Yeah.
Our supervisor comes in all the time to
Yeah.
talk about this.
But anyways, without further ado, what's the case we are working with today, Melvin?
So the first case is a crazy one, right?
Yeah.
It's about a gentleman named Tommy.
Ooh, I'm already shook.
Yeah.
He did it.
Yeah. It's a case full of twists and turns. It's one of my favorite true crime cases probably ever, right?
Yes.
For the wrong reasons. It's a fucking awful story. So there's a gentleman named Tommy who's in his mid 40s, has 2 children and a wife that's just the same age, right? He hops in this group, this online chat. So this is like 2006, 2007. He pops in the online chat and starts talking to an 18-year-old girl. Named Hot Tall Blonde. That's her chat name, right?
That's a bot. That's a bot.
That's an NPC. Yeah. And she apparently is 18 years old.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh my gosh, I'm 18 years old as well. And I'm training to become a Marine. And she's like, oh my God, that's so hot.
Simplify.
Yeah. She's like, that's so hot, dude. I love Marines.
Oh.
And he was just like, yes. So they start sparking up a romance. And she starts sending scandalous photos of herself. He starts sending scandalous photos of himself and photos of himself when he was 30 years younger. Right? They hop on phone calls. They talk to each other for hours, right? This man has a wife and children.
Yes.
One day, his daughter opens up the computer to work on her homework, finds the chat, finds the messages, spazzes out, calls her mother. Mother sees it and is just like, wow, sends this girl a photo, a family portrait, and says, hey, little girl, 18-year-old little girl, this is the man you're talking to. He's 47, and these are his kids, and I'm his wife. He is lying to you. Don't believe everything you read on the internet. So the girl's heartbroken. The girl's like, fuck you, old man. You use me. Fucking liar. I hate you. Right? So that was it. But then the girl, the 18-year-old girl was just like, you know what, dude? I'm going to make sure that he's actually 47 because I do miss him. He is a big part of my life.
Wow.
Sweetie pie.
That's true love.
Yeah.
That's true love.
Yeah, true love. So she ends up DMing one of his coworkers, who's a 22-year-old guy.
Oh.
Keep in mind, this guy's 47.
Yeah.
And she DMs one of the coworkers who's 22. And he's just like, hey, is this guy for real? Is he really 47? Like, does he really have a wife? Does he really have kids? And the kid's like, yeah, he does. Yeah. He's my coworker.
He died.
Yeah. he's my coworker. You know what I mean? Like everything you're saying is true. They start chatting it up. They start a romantic relationship.
Oh no.
So she's a whore.
Yeah.
We can't trust this lady. She reminds me of my ex-girlfriend.
Right, yeah, exactly, right? So
You know her?
Yeah, you're actually
I'm a great detective. I know everybody. So he goes,
Did you fuck her?
no.
Is those late nights at the office?
Yeah.
Cut this part out. Yeah.
Continue. I'm very mad.
And then the 47-year-old finds out that his ex is now talking to his coworker, gets infuriated, grabs his rifle from when he was in the army, shoots the 22-year-old guy 3 times in his car in the parking lot where they work, right? So the cops catch him and they're like, oh my gosh, because he went on the run. Before they catch him, he went on the run and they're like, oh my gosh, if he could kill this 22-year-old guy, he might kill this 18-year-old girl that lives across the country. Let's go find this 18-year-old girl, make sure she's okay. They show up to her house and they talk to her and she's like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I'm a senior in high school. I don't know these fucking men. Turns out it was the girl's mother who was in her 50s that was disguising herself as her own daughter, using scandalous photos of her own daughter, using her daughter's name. And she was the one that fell in love with the 47-year-old man and the 22-year-old guy.
Wow.
What? How did she get those pictures?
No one knows.
Did she go into? Wow.
So no one knows, right? So they obviously give the 47-year-old man 20 years in prison. The 22-year-old kid is dead. And they tried to prosecute the woman, but they couldn't prosecute her or anything because she didn't do anything illegal. But the daughter cut ties with her mother. Wow. Yeah. And she has since then never apologized, never discussed it in public. But this has been a story featured in a couple documentaries and featured in they actually made a movie about it. Tall, Hot, Blonde, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she basically got somebody killed.
She basically got
And
somebody,
nothing can happen to
She
her?
basically ruined the lives of a man and got a young man killed.
And nothing can happen to her?
And kind of ruined and emotionally scarred her daughter in the process.
Yes.
Forever.
Forever.
That's so gross. Dude.
Forever.
And I'm surprised that guy just got 20 years for killing a kid.
Yeah.
A 22-year-old kid.
Yeah. Well, he pleaded something. He pleaded like he made a deal. So they were going to give him life, but then he made a deal. So now he only has 20 years. Oh, not to mention he ruined the lives of the guy's wife and the guy's children.
Well, he fucked up everything. He fucked his whole life up.
Yeah.
But why does he get 20 years when there's 3 shots? The thing about people shooting each other is that there's typically just one shot when it's something that's self-defense, right?
Yeah.
Because the perp is down, baby, right?
Yeah.
That's what you always say when you shoot people.
Allegedly.
No, you said
I look like I'm presidential right now. Go ahead.
Yeah, you look like Barack Obama.
Go ahead.
You look alike or look like?
You look like.
Go ahead. The objectality of deception.
Don't bring up objectality when I know theatricality is in the other building.
So, but my whole thing is, I don't know if you guys ever saw this. There was a Netflix documentary about this recently called Killer Sally. Did you hear about this?
No.
Where the woman, the man, I never get to, the man was a weightlifter, Olympian. What are they called? Mr. Olympian?
Olympian, yeah.
Yeah. And she was interested in him or something. I forget the beginning of the story. But long story short, right? He's an Olympian trying to get this fucking world's strongest man title or whatever. Always coming in 7th place, 10th place, all these things, not putting in the work again. Yeah. If it wasn't for me being on the force, I'd be, the strongest man on earth. I'm just kidding. Don't come kill me. He's dead though, so we can't, right? So we can talk all the shit we want. Yeah, that's what we say about perps, right? All the time.
Yeah.
Okay, chill.
I'm getting fucking riled right now.
Yeah, I know. This is
so. In Killer Sally, she meets this Olympian guy, right? And the Olympian guy is taking steroids. She allegedly had to go get steroids for him all the time, going to Mexico, from Oceanside to Mexico, right? Just going back and forth, getting steroids. Meanwhile, he's just juicing up, baby. You know what I'm saying? And then one night, she took steroids too, by the way. Just throw that out there. One night, it comes out that he was attacking her or something in front of the kids. She pulls out a sawed-off shotgun and shoots this fool once, right? He is incapacitated, right?
Yeah.
The deception of her tongue.
Incapacitification.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's incapacitated, and she shoots him again. Now, this is the thing. And the second time was in the head. The first time was like in the body. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, there's evidence that she walked from the living room where he was shot to her room to get the second bullet, which that shows meditation, right?
Mm-hmm.
But she was very strict in saying that she had both bullets on her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how can you prove that she went to the room to get another bullet? Was her footsteps on the ground?
There was a slug on the floor of the bedroom.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also you could tell like with like when
Blood
you analyze
splatter
the gun.
too. The blood splatter was you could tell that he was down because the blood splatter was on the bottom of a lampshade. So he was already on the ground and the blood splattered up.
A lot of stuff that you could figure out after in a crime scene.
So she would have gotten off if she would have only taken the one shot.
Yeah.
But since she loaded up and did it again, she got however X many amount of years in prison.
Yeah, I think I heard about this case.
Yes. Yeah.
How many years did she get? Do you know?
She's out now already.
Oh, she's out.
Yeah.
How long ago was this?
This was in the 80s or 90s that this happened.
that's so cool.
You're
A
actually
long time.
dating her right now.
That's my wife you're talking about. Don't bring her up.
But yeah, she got, I believe, 25 years in prison.
So what was it, manslaughter?
Murder, actually. Yeah, murder. It's murder.
So it was, she was innocent.
Yeah, no, second degree murder, I believe. Yeah.
Maybe back when you were alive. Back
she
when
was a
you
real
were
person.
alive.
They tried to argue premeditation because of that second bullet, though.
Yeah.
But it reminds me a lot of that case, the one you're talking about now.
Yeah, so I read about this case, and I think he went. It went from like secondary manslaughter to manslaughter with an intent to whatever. But it definitely changed. It lowered a bracket down, so they only gave him 20 years, which I think they should have given more. To be honest with you, they should have given life because he's killed a 22-year-old kid over.
Yeah, and 3 times
over. You know what I mean? Yeah, 3 times with a rifle, and it's not even like he was married. It's not like this kid was fucking his wife. Like, no, it was. You know what I mean? They didn't even know what this person looked like.
Yeah. Listen, we're allegedly detectives, right?
Yes.
We're not judge or jury.
No,
right?
we're not. Yeah.
I just want to know, when does crimes of passion come in? What is that all about? Crimes of passion? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what if I go rob a liquor store, but I'm like, I was really passionate though, dog. You know what
Isn't
I'm saying?
like in the moment, like if you catch your wife banging another dude and you're like, what the
Something
fuck?
like that.
Boom.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Something like that.
okay.
And what can you say? That's like not insanity, but like a momentary.
Momentary lapse
Of judgment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you'll still get a lot of years for it, but it won't be like like you said, premeditated, where you plan it out and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But it's so crazy how fast premeditation can be instituted. Like, even if it's like a split second where you're like, I'm gonna do this thing.
Yeah.
That's premeditation. That's crazy.
Like Killer Sally, like it probably took her 5-6 seconds to walk to her bedroom, another 3 seconds to load up, another 5 seconds to come back. That's 15 seconds that altered his everything.
Yep.
Everything.
Can you even think clearly in that moment though? I'm not saying what she did was right. I'm just saying like how can you what goes on in your mind after you do that? To shoot someone the first time.
Yeah.
I mean the second time, obviously shooting somebody the second time is outrageous. It's crazy. But like your mind must be racing 100 miles an hour.
Well, at that point, I think it's whoever has the better lawyers and team.
Yeah, see, that's the human part of true crime, in my opinion, is when you're watching this shit after the fact and you're like, she's lying, fool.
Yeah.
She's not telling the truth. That's not how it went down, fool. You weren't even there, dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just hard to trust anyone when it comes to somebody in a courtroom, right?
That's true, because they always got their plans. You know what I mean? You got to get the lawyer and be like, all right, don't say this. Say this or say it this way.
Yeah.
Because if you say it this way, it's going to make it sound like you try to do it, even though you did want to do it.
Yeah. And then like, since it's like a jury, they might be like, you know what? Even though she did murder this guy, he tweeted this racist picture, 5 years ago. Like this guy wasn't the nicest guy. You know what I mean? They'd use anything in the book.
First degree racism. Dude.
Yeah.
You weren't even freaking there.
Yeah, but first of all, he was trolling people on Twitter,
That would be a good defense. Yeah, to the jury, to the judge. You weren't even fucking there.
You don't even know him.
You don't even know that bitch, dude.
And then he's like, I rest my case.
Your Honor,
free to go home.
Your Honor, my client is just simply built different.
Is it my client's fault that he was trying to secure the bag on her?
Your Honor, my client got it out the mud. Okay,
that one. That's a good one. That one. That's beautiful.
Your Honor, my client started from the bottom. Now he's here.
now he's here. Okay,
I don't know any. There's way too many people here right now that I didn't know last night. Who the fuck are y'all? What am I doing here? What am I doing here?
Your Honor, blame it on the alcohol, please.
Your Honor, they simply try to find my client writing dirty.
Your Honor, you thought I was feeling you? These people are much. I would shoot myself if my lawyer said that.
Your Honor, let's just keep it 100, please.
Your Honor, if we kept it $1, he's innocent, bro.
Do you feel power? Oh, man. That would be amazing, man.
Your Honor, you were born into the courtroom. Or wait, what?
Oh, fuck. Your Honor, you were born in the darkness. I was molded by it. Wait.
He's like, Your Honor, you merely adopted the courtroom. While me, I was born in it.
Born in it.
Molded by it.
I didn't see the light.
I didn't see justice until I was already a man. And by then it was nothing but
Okay, so that was a great case. Thank you so much, Mr. Melvin. Or Detective Diaz.
Of course, yes.
Detective Diaz, incredible stuff. I have two.
Detective Brandano or Detective Romero? Because I know that you have an undercover area.
Or Bad Dog.
Bad Dog. Call me Bad Dog. Come MD 2020. Listen.
Hey, you know why they call him Mad Dog, right?
Yes. What he did in 97.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You should see what I did in 1880s.
I don't like this whole like I'm 800 years old thing.
You said I look like I'm fucking old, bro. Prohibition just happened last year, dude.
Nobody's lived past like 190, dude.
World War I was crazy.
God, dude.
The American Revolution was a tough time, but good time for crimes. No DNA testing.
What is your case, doctor? Or detective, not doctor. Doctor. What if two of us were in suits and one of us a doctor?
You guys have cancer. And you have AIDS. You're dying of high blood pressure.
Gosh.
You are just a bad person.
Too much sodium.
Too much sodium. Sugar-free Red Bull. You're dead. So I have two, and one of them is...
Stop flipping the pages.
No, I gotta get to my case. So one of them is about the Bjork stalker, or one of them is about a German cannibal, which I've said on the stream.
Yes.
But I think I'm gonna go with that one.
Yeah.
German cannibal. So back in the day, 1980.
Lay the scene, yeah.
Probably 2000. Oh, I don't know, 2005.
1980 or
Okay.
2000?
It was 2005.
3 decades.
4,000 years ago. No. But anyways, so
King Tut.
King Tut. Jehovah.
Why do you start yours with Jehovah every time?
I don't know, because I miss him. And he'd be mad that I'm doing this.
Go for it.
Okay. So back in the day, man, back in the internet, what's in this little baby years, man, there used to be this website called the Cannibal website, right? It was a bunch of forums, kind of like Reddit, but with cannibalism, right?
Okay.
So people go on there and be like, hey, listen, I want to eat somebody, I want to be eaten alive. That's my kink. I love that shit. Bing, bam, boom. People go on there like, hey, who wants to eat me? Who wants to be eaten, all right?
First of all, not into that myself.
Not into that either.
But I don't judge.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't judge.
Did you do any research into this?
A lot. I ate someone to see if they're...
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. So... that happened, right?
Yes.
So that goes on, right? There's one guy, I forgot his name, but he's some German fool, right? He's like a smart guy, good guy. He goes on there. He has a kink, obviously, for a long time. He's had it his whole life, but his mom growing up was always like, listen, dude, you're fucking have a problem. Chill. Don't fucking bring that shit. Don't tell anybody you're fucking kink, all right? That's disgusting.
Yeah.
And he was always like, okay, fine. She dies. And he's like, he feels sad, but he's also like, oh my God. Now there's nobody to kind of hold me back. I can do the creepy shit. I can indulge in them. I can fucking go deeper into them, right? He goes on the website. He goes on to this thing, and then he looks at, he starts typing away, like, who wants to be eaten? A bunch of people are like, hey. And then one guy, he's like, hey, I live here. And the other guy's like, well, why don't you fly over here and come to me, and then we'll see what happens, right? And it was another guy. It was two guys. So the guy flies to this main guy, right? Let's just call him Jimmy.
Jimmy, good
Jimmy,
name.
the guy lives in Germany, right? They go into the airport. He picks up the other guy. Jim picks up the other guy. They go to his house and they're just chilling. They're kind of like, oh, what's going to happen? Jim is trying to feel it. Like, is this guy going to let me eat him? He's like, no.
Yeah. Is he feeling me?
Is he? You thought I would kill you?
Yeah.
Right? So they're both gay, right? Mm-hmm. So they just start making out like, they're like, hey, they just make out, start making love and see what happens, right?
Sounds hot.
So yeah, they start kissing, this and that. And then Jim is like, okay, can I take a bite out of you? Can I bite you? Ooh. And the other guy's like, no. I don't know if I can actually do this, man. I don't know. This is this makes me fucking feel weird. I don't know if this is the right thing to do. And the other guy's like, you flew all the way here. You flew all the way here for this. you're gonna back out. The other guy's like, I don't feel comfortable. Take me home. And the other guy's like, Jim is like, all right, whatever. They take him back to the airport, and on the whole way there, he's like, man, he's kind of disappointed. Jim is like, why'd you even fly over here if you're not gonna let me do this?
Yeah.
And the other guy's like, you know what? You're right. What am I doing? I came all the way over here for this. And I'm not gonna fucking let you do it. Let's go back to the apartment.
Oh.
They go back to the apartment. They start making love. They start kissing. They start fucking, right? Mm-hmm. Start making sweet, gentle love.
Okay,
right?
you can move on. Yeah.
And it goes to the point where Jim is like, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
And he's like, yes. He ties his feet up. He flips them upside down, hangs them from the ceiling, right? And he's just caressing him, starts touching him, starts kissing him. And then he stabs him in the belly. And he's like leaking blood, right? And he's like fucking like passing out, but he's not even like in pain. He's just kind of like enjoying the moment. And then he's like, put me in the bathtub. He unties him, puts him in the bathtub. He sits down in the bathtub. He's leaking blood, right? And then the water is full of blood. There's blood everywhere. He starts crying. And then Jim is like, oh my God, he's crying. What am I doing? I'm fucking killing somebody. And then the guy's like, I'm crying because this is the happiest I've ever been in my life.
What the fuck?
I've never, ever been happier than I am right now. And Jim is like, I love you. Thank you so much. Oh. They kiss, they caress each other. And then he just lets him chill there for a little bit. And then he puts him back upside down. And then he's basically like, you can do it. Kill me. And then he's like, stabs him in the throat, cuts his throat, and he starts leaking blood everywhere. And he basically just lets him die. And he waits for him to die. And then he just eats 40 pounds of him. He eats 40 pounds of him. And the way he got caught is that he went back on the website and he just like, listen, I'm eating a body right now, but I might run out of food soon. I need somebody to I need another victim. I need
to come through,
yeah, someone come through. And then some guy,
try it out.
Some guy, I think from around there too, he went on the website, but he was curious about it. Not that he wanted to do it, but he heard about it. And he was like, there's no way this is a real fucking thing. And then he found that same guy, Jim, and then he started talking to him as a joke, like, hey, I kind of want this fucking thing. And then Jim was like, yeah, I've done it. I've ate a bunch of people. Like, I'm serious about this.
Well, was that a lie though, or did he only eat one person?
I think that was a lie, exaggeration, but he did eat that one guy, right? Yeah. So he was like, I want to eat more. And then the other guy was like, what the fuck? So he called the authorities. And then fucking they went to his house, obviously, and they're like, what's going on here? Then they look underneath.
What are we doing here?
What are we doing here? They look in the basement. They see a body that's fucking like half eaten.
Oh my God.
It's like stripped, half of it is stripped away. And like he made a bunch of meals. He would cook it. Oh no.
He'd meal prep.
I forgot one part.
What?
That's probably the most disgusting part of it. So when he was upside down, flipped, the guy that was getting eaten, he was like, I've always wanted to eat, this is kind of gross, eat my foreskin. Oh. Right? So he took his foreskin off, he baked it, he cooked it, he started cooking it, right? And then he fed it to him while he was upside down. And then he was mad because he couldn't eat it. It was like so slimy and kept on slipping out. He was like, I can't chew it, I can't swallow it. I'm very upset. So he kept on just doing it until he kept on feeding him his own foreskin until he ate it. Going back to the end, the cops came.
Your mouth is watering.
Yeah, why are you getting onto this?
Going back to, I'm dehydrated. I'm 500 years old, guys. I'm fucking, going back.
You're too deep in the case.
You're the German.
Yeah. Going back to the end of the story.
Yes.
Okay, going back to the end. Basically, they see this fucking body that's ripped in half.
Yeah.
They see, and they go in the fridge, they go in the freezer, they see all these pieces of meat, and they're like, you've been eating this guy? And he was like, yeah. And the thing, they couldn't really prosecute him for a long time because there was consent to it. So they were like, he can't really go in jail for a while. We don't know what to do with this guy because he killed somebody. But the guy was like, I want you to do this. And there was like fucking text messages, or there was like, what is it? Fucking on the forums, you could see that the guy was like
evidence.
The guy was consenting to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's why they got him.
That's so crazy to consent to having somebody eat you,
which is crazy, right? And then I heard about that, and I was like, I wonder if the website's still up.
Yeah,
and it turns out they took it down, obviously after that
for obvious reasons.
But the archives are still there.
Yeah,
so I was like, there's no way. And I went on the archives, and then I saw basically what I thought I was gonna see. It's like a Reddit thing. People are like, hey, want to be eaten alive with me and my girlfriend? Hit me up. And there's people like having conversations like, how do you want to be eaten? Where do you want me to eat you from? Where do you want me to start? And it's just fucking headlines of fucking people just wanting to be eaten alive.
Oh my God.
And I was just reading all that, and I was astounded.
Yeah.
I was flabbergasted.
I remember growing up and that video, you know how like just like beheading videos and stuff like that. I remember that video was one of them. The two gay dudes, one eats one another.
Yeah.
I remember I never saw it, but I remember that was like one of the choices.
They filmed it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But they showed the courtroom, but then they were like, we need to get rid of this. Just destroy this tape.
So
Destroy
there's
this
video of this guy being like,
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
only a picture. There's a picture of it that you can find, which I saw. But the actual video, they showed it to the court. But after that, they were like, we need to delete this video. There's no one should ever see this. So they got rid of it. I don't know if it's still out there like on Live Leak or in the dark black web or something, but they had to get rid of it because it was too gross.
and so going back, this all took place in Germany?
Yeah, or I could be wrong. They're Polish somewhere.
Okay.
One of them.
Europe. It wasn't America.
No.
I'm sure.
It wasn't over here.
What are your thoughts on the case, Detective Diaz?
Man, that one's a tough one. That one's a tough one because it's there are people who you know what I mean, because people want to unalive themselves all the time, and if they can get joy out of their unaliving, they're gonna do it. You get what I'm saying?
That's the part that kind of got to me when I was reading about the case or learning about it when I was younger, is the fact that he was getting killed, basically murdered, but he was happy about it.
It was the best day of his life.
Yeah, dude. That when I heard the guy say that, I was like, "Wow, what?"
Like even this cold-hearted murderer cannibal was like, "Oh my God, you're crying."
Yeah.
and he was like, "No.
Like
I'm just so happy.
I'm
right
so happy." While he's gushing blood into the bathtub and he's like laying down in his own pool of blood. He's like, "This is."
Wait, so the guy that got cold feet was the guy that ended up getting killed, right?
Yes,
And then
Yes.
he ended up enjoying it.
yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Isn't that trippy?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And I don't know much about that guy's background.
Yeah.
But the other guy, Jim, I don't remember if he was like molested or he was abused. It seemed like it was just him and his mom was very strict. Or his mom was like, "Don't stop the way you're thinking," because he's been feeling that way for a while.
Yeah.
I think he was like cross-dressing, but he wanted to like eat people. And obviously his mom was like, "Don't ever fucking say that. Don't bring that up. Shut up. Go to school, do your thing. Don't talk about that shit." Right? And maybe he thought that as like, okay, she doesn't want me to express myself. She doesn't want me to be vocal about the things that I like. She doesn't accept me for who I am, which obviously that's already a tormented or sick way of thinking. You wanted to eat people and you thinking that your mom not accepting that is her not accepting. I mean, I guess it is not accepting you, but it's a sick way. It's a sick thing to want.
Yeah.
Basically, you know, and what can you do? What for people like that? Like, if they don't do that, I wonder how do you treat that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I have no clue.
Yeah,
Because if they don't do that, they're always going to have like an overwhelming desire to eat somebody
Yeah.
or eat something. It's kind of like the Jeffrey Dahmer thing. It's like
Yeah.
these people need to eat other humans, and no other thing kind of comes close to it.
Yeah.
So
It's so crazy to think that there is nothing you could do really, because we live in an imperfect world.
Yeah.
So those things are always going to happen. Right?
Yeah.
That's so trippy though.
Yeah, I mean, being on the force for 30 years, man, this is
Never seen
probably
anything like that.
Yeah, one of the craziest things I've ever heard.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen dinosaurs.
You're on this immortal fucking vampire.
You ever seen a T-Rex eat a?
I never saw this storyline coming that you're fucking a million years old.
Like I was there in Jerusalem. When they were,
He's like, you know the Big Bang? I saw that.
Jesus was black. That might be offensive to your religious, my man.
Okay.
Your religious man. I don't want to be disrespectful.
that's not disrespectful.
What's it called? Do I go next?
Yes, baby.
Okay, so I already brought up Killer Sally, right? That was a great watch on Netflix. Check it out. I just finished a book, and you guys are going to call me a hack, but it's about Charles Manson. It's called Chaos, the CIA, Charles Manson in the 60s or whatever, the hidden truth of the 60s.
Yes.
Great book. I read it through an audio book, right? That's a whole other discussion for another day. It's the same thing as reading the book, right, guys?
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yes.
He's very quiet on this.
No,
Especially when you're driving.
I agree.
You got places to be. You can't be like this and driving. That's illegal.
Yeah, we already cracked that case.
Yeah.
That's reading a book.
That's reading a book.
Yes.
Yeah, which is hard to do.
Yeah.
You got something to do.
You can't read and drive.
I don't got a rocking chair. How can I read?
Yeah.
Dude.
You need a rocking chair, you need glasses, you need whiskey.
Yeah.
You need a cardigan.
You need grandkids?
Yeah, you need
Yeah.
to put the glasses on like the tip of your nose and look down like this.
Yeah.
and you need to pass out every 10 minutes because you're so fucking old.
Put a blanket on your legs like that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you need a wheelchair.
wheelchairs are beneficial to almost anything. Have you ever tried driving with the wheelchair?
Okay, so anyways, Charles Manson.
Charles Manson.
So Charles Manson, you guys know about Charles Manson. Tell me what happened with Charles Manson.
Charles Manson was the leader of a cult.
Yes.
He actually was featured on a song for the Beach Boys.
Yes.
And he was apparently
He
a
wrote
really
some lyrics for a song on the beach.
Yeah,
the Beach Boys,
apparently he was a really
but they didn't give
talented
him any credit.
any money.
Yeah.
Wasn't he partying with one of those guys?
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
He was a good close party friend with one of the Beach Boy guys.
Yeah.
Unreal.
But back in the 60s, yeah, he was in and out of jail his entire life, and then in the 60s he started a cult, the Manson Ranch out here in LA.
Spawn Ranch.
Yeah.
The Manson family.
Yeah, Manson Family Ranch, Spawn,
Yeah.
and here in Los Angeles, right? And then he manipulated these kids, these runaways, and into thinking that the race war was coming soon, and they had to like hide away. So when the race was eventually over, they would come and be the superior race.
Yeah. But as far as true crime goes, he is the perpetrator of the Tate and LaBianca murders. Do you guys know about these two people?
Yes.
Sharon Tate.
Yeah.
Sharon Tate lived in a house that a record producer used to live in, and Charles Manson knew that he had moved to Malibu. He wasn't living on El Cielo Drive anymore.
In the Hollywood Hills.
Yes, but he wanted to spook him a little bit, so he had his how do you say, like, family go there to kill whoever was in the house that day. Now that's the official story, right, guys? We're getting into Conspiracy-Isimo here.
That's what I heard.
Yes. What you don't know is that there was a third murder that took place roughly a couple weeks before the Tate murders happened, which the Tate murders happened before the LaBianca murders. They were consecutive nights, right? There was a man in the Valley. I forget his name. Should have probably remembered that, but it's fine. Read the book. He got murdered because Manson had this, he had an inkling that he had just received some sort of payment of $20,000 from some sort of fund. What is it called when somebody dies and you get their money?
Oh, the will.
The will or whatever. He thought that he had received $20,000. So he was like, yo, Susan Atkinson, Tex Rex, whatever his name is. Tex Rex. No, Tex Rex is going to listen to the podcast. No.
That's Trego thing, right?
No. Tex Watson.
Yeah.
I said Tex Rex. He's like, full, I'm still alive. I'm still here.
He's dead.
So he sent those three of his family members out to the Valley to, don't make fun of me, Doug. I saw that. He sent them out to the Valley to go intimidate this guy. He said, by any means necessary, come back with that $20,000, right? They ended up killing him, right? And, the third person was some Polish guy. So, like, I'm going to call him Ovich, right?
Yeah.
He had a name like like Polish names, the ending of it. So this dude, a couple of days later, got arrested by the police in connection to that murder, right? And they were under the inkling that he was not acting alone. So they, what is it called? When you listen to somebody on the phone?
Wiretapped.
Wiretap. They wiretapped the prison phone. Great work, Diaz.
What did you say? Listen?
Eavesdrop. I thought they were like that.
You said east.
No, so they wiretapped the prison phones to see who he was communicating with on his free phone calls or whatever.
Yeah.
And he called the Manson family, right? To say, yo, can you guys do a copycat murder so that they think the killer's still out there so that it kind of gets heat off me, right? 3 weeks later, Sharon Tate's murdered. Yeah. And then the LaBiancas are murdered a day later. What do they say? The number one thing about the LaBianca murders? You guys don't remember?
It was in Silver Lake.
No. What they said, the police at the time, they said, we have proof that it's not the same people. It's a copycat murder.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah. Those are just the facts. Yeah. Nobody's ever heard this phone call wiretap thing, but cops have come out to say that there was a wiretap of a member of the Manson family in jail saying that he would like a copycat murder to take place so that the heat gets off of him. Crazy. What do you guys think?
I have heard that. I have heard that, and it is wild. Mm-hmm. It is wild. Yeah, I've told you. I met the gentleman that owns the second house.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah.
Yeah.
The LaBiancas.
Yeah, who's weird.
He's weird.
A copycat murder.
Yes.
What do you have to do to make it look like it was a Manson thing?
So for the Sharon Tate, for those of you who don't know, it's one of the craziest, most popular true crime cases probably of all time. But they opened up Sharon Tate. We're getting demonetized for sure. But they just splattered. They wrote words and paragraphs on the walls using the blood of their victims.
But the thing is, none of that was released to the public at the time.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't know whatever. What the LAPD did was they sent 2 different groups of police officers to go investigate both these murders. Let's say there was 25 police officers on the Tate murders because that was a big actress at the time. She was budding as a star. And then they sent like 7 to the LaBianca murders. And they never communicated. But they came out publicly and said that they're not connected. It's a copycat murder. The only reason why they caught the Manson family is because Susan Atkinson, I believe, was arrested for something else. They got arrested. The whole Manson family, the biggest raid of LAPD history, I guess at the time or still to this day, was at the Spawn Ranch over stolen VW bugs, right? So a bunch of cops went to the Manson Ranch and invaded and got everyone in jail for 3 days. And then they were released. But while they were in jail, Susan Atkinson was bragging to another inmate that she was a part of the Tate murders. So then that's how they got them back. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, no, that shit's wild.
It is.
Yeah, no, I mean, to think maybe, I was going to ask you, why do you think they were so adamant, the LAPD our colleagues were so adamant about telling the public that these murders aren't connected?
I feel like at the time, I feel like that, listen, I'm not going to get conspiratorial about it all, but I feel like they learned their lesson from that. They need to have people communicating with each other, especially when there's murders so close next to each other.
Yeah.
I feel like they just didn't have that implemented. It is strange to say like they're not connected at all when there was stuff written in blood on both sides. It's like very evident that it was connected.
Do you think maybe they don't want to say that it's connected to not like make it themselves look bad? Like there's this guy that keeps on fucking killing everybody. We can't seem to catch him. We have no control of the situation.
100% probably. Yeah. I mean, the what's that? Who's that guy with the long hair? The Satanist, the murderer?
The Night Stalker?
Yeah, what was his name?
Richard Ramirez.
Richard Ramirez. I did see in the documentary, like, this was after the Mansons. So, like, they learned from that. And, like, a lot of, like, different police departments work together to catch that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you say, they probably learned from
Which we were talking about last time we talked about on the stream is like, why do these police departments not want to talk to each other about information? Why don't they want to share information about the case with other department?
That's the $1 million question.
Why don't they like, hey, I have this, but what do you got? And I'll give you something if you give me something.
Yeah. I don't know. It's probably territorial.
Yeah.
Or maybe they want like the bragging rights, or maybe they are afraid of leaks.
Also,
so, like,
too, they're a victim of their time. We're in 2023 looking back at this case being like, why didn't you do that? Why didn't you do this?
Yeah.
It was just way more lenient back then.
Yeah. There was no text back then either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
Also, too, when's before Sharon Tate, what huge murder took place? Other than like Franz Ferdinand to start off World War I.
Oh, here in LA, the Black Dahlia.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Okay. Never mind.
What year was that? Was that like 65?
No, Black Dahlia was like
In the 18s?
No. Black Dahlia was like in
do
the
remember
19 like
I was
in the
300 and
the
something.
golden age of cinema. So like the 20s, 30s, 40s.
Oh, okay,
Yeah. And that was that long ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. The Black Dahlia, for those you don't know, like again, a budding actress here in Hollywood was found in a park, cut in half, surgically, cleanly cut in half, and a smile carved into her face.
Wow.
And her eyeballs missing.
That's wild. I never heard about that.
Yeah.
That is
You never heard of the
insane.
Black Dahlia?
No.
Really?
No, I never heard it that way. I've heard
yeah.
the Black Dahlia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that they do that
cut
to
her
her
in half.
body.
Yeah.
Yeah, they cut her in half. Yeah.
I wonder if when you're a police officer at that time, it's like, what can you do?
Yeah.
You see this and you're like, well, this is crazy.
I mean, you could do like basically things that we still have now, like interviewing witnesses. That's about it.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else.
But the crazy,
Somebody has a stand-up joke about it where they were like, what do we do? They're like, all right, let's just draw the body on the ground. And they use chalk to draw it.
like, fuck yeah, they're doing everything we can. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Besides interviewing somebody.
I mean, I recently learned yesterday. Actually, I learned that fingerprints last for decades. So there's a lot of cold cases that are being solved today and age because fingerprints are. They're still alive and well. So like they use our current technology to solve, mysteries from the 80s and 90s.
That's crazy.
I saw a video of someone that got stopped like 2 weeks ago, and he got arrested over a crime that he did 20 years ago. But at that time, obviously, didn't have the technology kind of fucking to find him or to get him. And then now it was like a regular traffic stop, like driving without a suspended license or something.
Yeah.
It's pretty serious.
I mean, look at the Golden Gate Killer, who killed a bunch of women in the 70s and 80s because he was a cop. So he was never caught. and they finally caught him now because of it's you guys don't know about this? The Golden Gate Killer? All right, so there's this
the guy that would throw people in the same spot, right?
I'm not sure.
Okay, sorry, keep going.
Yeah, but he was a cop, right? And in the 70s and 80s, he was like this handsome, white, rugged cop, killed women left and right. Right? They never caught him. They didn't even know who he was. They had no traces of him. They had no clue who this killer was. Fast forward 20 years, there was an author who was obsessed with this case, and she solved it. And she wrote a book, and all the evidence that she acquired led to the arrest of this old man living in Santa Monica. And they caught the Golden State Killer. And this wife, this woman ended up passing away shortly after. And this was Patton Oswalt's wife.
Oh,
you know Patton Oswalt?
Who's that?
The comedian?
No.
The voice of Remy from Ratatouille?
Patton Oswalt, like a kind of a fatter white guy. If you show him a picture, he'll know. Yeah. But I didn't know that she was somehow involved with that. Mm-hmm. So you're telling me that the old guy that was the Golden State Killer, how was he involved with Patton Oswalt's wife?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what do you mean? No. The Patton Oswalt's wife was just obsessed with this case.
Oh.
And she wanted to write a book about it. And, like an author, they acquire information and they interview people and they, they go through years and years of evidence in order to formulate a novel. And she basically did the job of a detective.
Damn.
And unfortunately, she passed away right after. But it was Patton Oswalt's wife.
Wow. And she died of a drug overdose, right?
No, she died of an illness.
I thought it was drug. My bad. Sorry about that.
This woman that caught the serial killer, she was a druggie, right?
But I read somewhere like maybe it was jokes that like something about prescription something, right?
Oh yeah.
So maybe it was bad jokes.
Well, yeah, I'm sure all novelists have a addiction to prescription drugs, but
Adderall.
Yeah, but isn't that crazy? When I found that out, like I was like, wow, Patton Oswalt. Who knew?
That's crazy.
I mean, how long was it code for?
Oh, decades.
Yeah.
Decades, yeah.
I mean,
but she wrote. It took her
like 10
decades,
years.
Yeah, to write the book as well and to gather all this evidence.
That's strange that they just give her. I mean, I would think that they don't give evidence to like. I mean, was she like a author before? Or she just is this her first book?
You could, like an author could also.
There's something called the Freedom of Information Act. So like you put in for freedom of information. This is how Tom O'Neill wrote the book about Charles Manson.
Yeah.
Is that he would have to wait months and months for these pieces of evidence or whatever that he sent in a Freedom of Information Act.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But there were certain things that were being held from him, right? One of the big things that like cracked the case, I guess, for the book that he wrote was he went to the sheriff's office in LA, the LASO, I think it's called, the LA Sheriff's Office.
Yeah.
And the guy that was working that day, he was like, hey, I want to see these files from these detectives that were working the Manson murders. And the guy that was working that day was just like, okay. And he let him in, right?
Oh, yeah. I remember watching that video with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so he went through and took photocopies of everything that he could. And then he went on this like journey of years of investigating all these things and interviewing people about these things that he found in the sheriff's office.
Yeah.
And then he went back to the sheriff's office to see if he can corroborate everything with what he learned now. And if there's more that he didn't see that he could find then.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't let him in.
Damn. I can't imagine
So suspicious. Yeah.
the amount of work that it takes, man.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. No, writing a novel is a good novel. Anyone can write a novel. We're writing a good novel.
Nonfiction.
Nonfiction novel about something as fucking crazy as the Manson shit.
That's the thing about the end of the book too, is that the end is kind of lackluster because there's no real answer to anything. It's just all open-ended questions.
Yeah.
You learn everything that he learned, but then the ending is just like, that was my book, guys.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Well,
it's
I mean-
more of the journey.
Yeah.
More of his personal journey.
It's literally about him writing the book. That's the whole book. Yeah.
Wow.
But the third act, not so strong. You know what I mean? It's just, a victim of what the circumstance.
Yeah, and also if something also like if you found out that Manson was set up or something like that, you would hear it on the news.
Yeah.
You wouldn't discover it from reading the last chapter of the book.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a lot of strange stuff with Manson though, because he was on parole and wasn't allowed to leave the city of San Francisco on parole. Yeah. But he was able to go to Los Angeles freely because of his parole officer. His parole officer basically loved Manson, and Manson had like a nickname for him and everything, and like it's just all fishy, right?
Yeah.
So he goes into the CIA, he goes into the FBI, and like, why did everyone want Manson to be out of jail? He should have been paroled or whatever that's called when you go back to jail. He should have had that done at least 6 times or something on all these other times that he went to jail. You know.
Well, he was a master manipulator though.
Yeah.
You know, so.
What was he getting arrested for over and over again? Like when he kept on going back to jail, they kept on letting him out.
Petty, like
Just small
stealing,
stuff.
Stealing Volkswagens. Yeah. He was, I guess, a collector of bugs.
Yeah.
But that's mostly why he would go back to jail. And then also holding up like liquor stores and shit like that.
Yeah.
Little shit. Yeah.
Damn. So he just.
And also they killed a lot of people. They killed more than just the LaBiancas and the Tates.
Yeah.
They in jail, he was sending a kite. A kite is something called like a message between prisoners, I guess. And he sent a kite to one of the girls, a part of the Manson family, saying, tell Goldie or whatever her name is, like some nickname for his favorite girl outside of prison, tell her that the bones go where the bones go and that the spyglass is in some place or whatever. So he was trying to scare the record producer that he thought, or no, that used to live in the Cielo house. One day he called him, I think, or some form of communication to that record producer saying, do you have a spy? Or he was talking to one of his friends. He's like, does he have a spyglass in this area of his house? And the guy's like, oh yeah, he does. And then Charles goes, no, he doesn't. And then hangs up the phone. And then they look in the house, and Charles Manson stole the spyglass from that guy's house, trying to scare him more. You know?
Yeah.
And so he was writing that in a kite to some girl, but saying that the bones are where the bones go. You know what I mean? Like saying, put the dead bodies where we always put the dead bodies. You know?
Yeah.
And speaking in code, but it's like a weird code. So you don't know any of the answers to these things.
Yeah.
It's just what happened.
They mark that the Manson case as the end of the purity of the 60s.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the beginning of the raunchy 70s.
Yeah.
So that's where the whole CIA angle comes from, because that's what the government wanted to happen. So they got what they wanted in a sense by making this hippie seem like some crazy murderer instead of free love and all that stuff, right? That's all speculation though. Yeah. Towards the end of the book, he gets into like, this is what they wanted to happen. This is what happened kind of thing, right? Boom.
I think it's very dangerous for someone like the idea of, well, someone like him who was like a cult leader and had like power over like weaker minded. I don't know if they're weaker minded, but just people that were easily lost people.
Yeah,
that scares me because that's fucking a lot. There's a lot of lost people out there. There's a lot of people that look for someone for guidance. There's just a lot of people that are master manipulators that can totally find a fucking group of people that they can send them to go do stuff or manipulate them or just be their leader.
I'll share a personal story like that. I have a friend that's like that.
Yeah.
Who's just a master manipulator. Like he's always been good to me. He's always been nice to me, but he finds these kind of like lost souls that are looking for guidance, looking for community. And he's also a very religious person. And there's one time at my first studio, he came by. He's like, "Is it okay if I invite some friends?" And I was like, "Of course, dude." And he brought like 10 people, which is like a lot, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know, I'm not gonna be like, you know, what is too much? I was like, yeah, come in. You're like, it was spacious enough and stuff, and we got some drinks and stuff, and they all sat in a circle around him, not like a perfect circle, but like just sand.
Yeah.
And he was kind of like,
so did Melvin.
Yeah, he was kind of like preaching to them, and he was like, yeah, this is my friend Melvin, and you know, and he was kind of talking religious talk to them, and he was like disguising it under like let's start this business. I want to start this business, and you know, for media and stuff like that, but also talking about God and he also dressed kind of like a
he's
like
speaking Melvin's language.
Yeah, I know. I was like, yeah, I'm over here like, I like this guy. Dude.
This motherfucker's spinning right now.
Yeah. And so and then after a while, like he started saying shit that he lost me. I was like, well, this is bullshit. I'm like, this is fucking weird. Like he's kind of freaking me out now. Like this is weird. This is dumb. But then I'm looking around at these guys and girls, and they're looking at him with stars in their eyes. Yeah. And I was just like, okay. And I go home, and I talk to my other friend, and they're like, how's oh shit, can you like censor that up? How was he? And I was like, I would not be surprised if in a couple years he started his own cult. I would not be surprised at all. Like, I would be surprised if he didn't.
Yeah.
With what I witnessed that day, and because it's easy, especially here in LA, people come looking for answers, and when you get someone that's confident, kind, manipulative, gets you things like, don't worry about it. He would be like, don't worry about it. Like, oh, you can't pay rent? Don't worry about it. Stay with me. Oh, you're hungry? Just stay with me. I'll get you food.
Yeah.
But then you never know when it's time to pay the price. It's so scary. That's why when people always say, like, how the fuck do these people get stuck in these cults?
Yeah.
It's they don't go in thinking, oh, I'm gonna join this cult.
Yeah.
They go in searching for friendship and love. And unfortunately get, trapped in this web of false community. It's so scary. Cults are so interesting to me.
Yeah, the reward doesn't need to be physical. It could be just straight up what's happening inside of you. I feel like wanted, or what is it called? Like you feel like normal, like you belong here.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like, oh, I get this, I get that, I get this. Dude, this guy loves me, I love him. Like it's an equal relationship.
Sure, I'll do a couple chores if let's do it.
There's a guy from my high school that I think is deep into one right now. But he goes to this, he goes to the Bay, right? And he's in a house full of a bunch of people. They're all shaving their heads. They're all waking up at 4 a.m, all taking cold showers, all posting about, it's like a super alpha male like house. Everybody's just like on a fucking, everybody's all hyped up, working out all day. But the guy they're following is some guy that's tatted up, fucking has tattoos all over his head, all over his body. And he's like a pickup artist, right? He's a guy that's like, he's always like, be the rest. No, fuck the rest. Be the best, fuck the rest. And basically saying, his whole idea is about fucking becoming the ideal man that a woman would want. And
Andrew Tate.
Yeah, basically Andrew Tate. Yeah.
BP's Andrew Tate.
I don't know where he's from. Like,
Oh, no, that's Joel.
I forgot.
But I knew this guy in high school, right? He was always kind of like, he was like a topier dude, very insecure. He always talked about like how he couldn't get women or get chicks.
Sounds like me.
And a lot of his friends were like good-looking dudes, and they were getting women, right?
Yeah.
But I guess he felt like he saw that, and he was shorter too. He's like 5'5" or 5'4". He's a shorter dude, but I guess he felt like less of himself because everybody around him was getting women, and he's a good-looking dude, but he just didn't feel the confidence, right? And then I see him go deep into this, and like he's posting like, once you found the secrets of life, once you become the real man that you were born to be, you will find the woman. You will find. It's like all this crazy alpha male talk, and just to see him, he posted like a picture of him and all the people that are in the house. It's like 30 dudes all shirtless, fucking outside of a house, all standing up like with swords and shit. And I feel bad for that dude, and I feel bad for everybody there because they're obviously very insecure and they need guidance from this one guy who just seems like he's fucking crazy. Yeah. Like he'll post videos of him just screaming in the morning and just like beating his chest. Like it's so alpha male that you can see. Yeah, and he has long hair and he has a suit and tie.
He owns a studio in downtown.
And he drinks Monsters, not the sugar-free ones.
The green ones.
The green ones, the bad one.
Melvin's face. No, but it's sad. People feel lost in their life or whatever, and they find these because I want to know when does it become unhealthy, right? Because I would love to have a shirtless picture with all the boys, dude. But is that because I'm a fucking cult leader, or is it because I just want to have a good time?
But he also charging these people.
Oh, see, that's
okay. You're taking my course. Also, that's a couple like 1,000 or 2 a month.
It's just the slippery slope of it all.
Yeah,
I think on paper it's like, hey guys, I own 5 acres of land outside the city. You don't have to pay rent. You just have to grow the crops and clean the bathrooms, and we could just take turns doing it all, and we could live here. We don't have to do jobs. And on paper, that sounds magnificent.
Yeah.
But, it doesn't always last. Like the cult leader can be like, hey, you girl, come over here.
Yeah, exactly.
I want you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hey, bro, I have to sleep with your wife, because if you guys want to stay here. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know what I mean? Or they get into bad business and they need more money, and it's just like Manson is like, yo, you go over there and go, because Manson, technically, they've never caught him killing anyone.
Yeah.
But he was the one that was just like, go over here, go to this.
Also, too, though, he went to the La Biancas and tied the man up
and left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He dipped out. Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's just
Cults are scary. I mean,
They're really scary.
it is. They are.
has there ever been somebody that was like, "This is how you know you're in a cult," and like
Yeah,
the symptoms?
yeah. There have been a lot of people, but it's just like there's this recently. I was watching this one girl on TikTok who was just like, yeah, I escaped a cult, and she was young, and it was like 2 years ago, and it's like a Mexican church or whatever, and
Jehovah.
yeah, and she was just like, yeah, like my family doesn't talk to me anymore. I got pregnant, and the father of my baby doesn't talk to me, and but then like when the main guy died, and then the son kept it going because we all believe that he was personally talking to Jesus, and then the son got arrested on child molestation charges. So that gave me the chance to be able to convince my boyfriend to leave the church and stuff like that. And it's just like when everyone, your whole family, parents, siblings, uncles are like, even if you go, wait, why are we doing that? And they would immediately, just be like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like you don't go against the family. Don't fucking do this. Don't do that. And it's like everyone that you know is in this. And she talks about, she's like, yeah, when I was in high school, I used to cry all the time because I was like, man, all my friends are going to hell. All my friends aren't saved. They're all going to hell. You know what I mean? Like that's how ingrained it was in her. And with people, they're just like, that's their life. You know what I mean? And especially if you grow up in it, you're born in it. Yeah, we could have a whole episode on cults, man.
Yeah. Cults are scary.
Yeah, how do you get someone out of it?
Yeah.
If they don't even think they're in one.
Yeah.
What are you supposed to tell them?
I mean, it's one of those things where it's just like, if they don't even know that they're in it, then I think, what is it? Acceptance is the first step. Like they have to realize like, oh, I'm in a cult, fool. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Yep. You were in one, huh?
I was no.
500 years ago.
500 years ago.
He was in the Manson.
Dude, I've been through a lot, man. The Black Plague.
All right, well, you guys go with that. We should do this again sometime.
Oh, how long has it been?
Over an hour, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I had another case.
Oh shit! Well, let's end it on this one.
Okay. So this case, I first discovered it on TikTok, but apparently they've made Hulu shows about it, and the actresses have already won awards and shit. People probably know it. This young lady named Gypsy Rose and her mother, Dee Dee.
I feel like I've heard about this before.
Yeah.
Somebody on the last True Crime episode was like, look into Gypsy Rose.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So I did. So there's this young woman, right? Who's a teenager, and this older woman who's her mom. I don't know if it's her adopted mom or her biological mother, but the daughter was diagnosed with cancer, like a very serious illness, right? But she would go viral because her voice was so squeaky. And even though she was like 16, 17 years old, she'd be like, hi, my name is Gypsy Rose, and things like that, right? So people were just like, adored her. They're like, oh my God, how adorable this poor sick girl. You know what I mean?
Joel, you got to start talking like that.
Yeah. So Disney would fly her out to Disney World and all that stuff. Celebrities would fly her out. They would meet her. There's like pictures of her and like super, super famous celebrities, you know what I mean? That are like, they're doing it for charity. You know what I mean? Like she's
Salt
like,
Bay and stuff.
Yeah, it's Salt Bay. Like, who was the most famous woman? There was a really famous actress that took a picture with her.
Kate Blanchett?
I don't know.
Reese Witherspoon?
I don't know. But like
Meryl Streep?
But yeah, there's like videos of them
Viola
talking
Davis?
to her, like don't give up. Like, you don't give up. You just keep trying your hardest and keep living life. You're so beautiful. You're full of light, and they would be featured on news stations and articles across the globe, right?
Yes.
Come to find out, one day, the mother is murdered in her own home.
Oh.
And the daughter's nowhere to be found.
What the fuck?
So everyone is so afraid for the daughter because like, this is a defenseless little girl. She's out in the world. She's got kidnapped. She needs her medicine. She needs her mother. Like, who's gonna protect her? So they go and look for this girl, right? Come to find that she had an online boyfriend for a year. And she was like, I fucking hate my mom. I want to leave. I want to get out of here. And he was like, baby, I'll take you away. I'll help you. and she was like, come pick me up. Like, I can't go anywhere. My mom will let me. We have to sneak out. And he was like, I'll kill your mom for you.
What?
Oh. And then he was just like, and then she was like, yes, please, save me. Boom, they come, they kill the mom, and they go on the run, right? They end up catching the girl and the boyfriend. Come to find, she's not even sick. Come to find that the mom was drugging her up this entire time, injecting her with bad shit, giving her false medicine, faking cancer prescriptions, faking everything, faking doctor appointments, faking everything, keeping her girl sick.
What for?
On purpose. I don't know.
Well, because she got to meet all these celebrities and shit.
I guess, yeah, or like for notoriety, or there's a word for it. It's like Manchester or something like that. But it's a disorder where mothers make their kids sick on purpose just to feel needed. I'm sure someone in the comments are going to correct me, but
it's London syndrome.
I think it's called Bowen Park.
It's called Manchester by the Sea.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's called Latino Mom.
Yeah, it's called the Dark Knight.
Come to find that it was all fake, and the mother was abusive to her, but then they ended up killing the mom, so they're all in jail. Everyone is just fucked all around.
What about the girl?
In jail?
She went to jail?
Yeah. Accomplice
All
in a
this
murder.
torture that she went through?
Accomplice in a murder.
What?
Yeah.
That I kind of feel like that's a little unfair.
And they made the Hulu. They made a show on Hulu that I hear is really good. You know.
I mean, there's an answer to this without killing her. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, of course.
Especially with an audience that you have, you could just be like, "Yo, hey, my mom's drugging me."
What if she's drugged? Like what?
Also, too, I want to say before we go on, too, is that we're not detectives and I don't really know much about anything. So, like the Charles Manson stuff and all that. Also, with the Gypsy Rose thing, I didn't know that's what the case was. So, I just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah.
Because we're joking a lot, but we don't know, like, the severity.
We're fucking stupid.
Yes.
We're not detectives at all.
She went to jail for life, I'm assuming.
I don't know. I don't know if it was for life, but.
Because obviously, murder is never the answer, people. Mm-hmm. Murder is never the answer.
Yeah.
But I feel like you kind of have to understand that if she was being drugged and abused, I don't know if it was just all drugging. She wasn't getting hit or anything, nothing physical.
No, I don't think so.
But still, being drugged all the time, feeling like shit, feeling sick, and find out that it's all bullshit, that it wasn't, you didn't have anything wrong with you, just your mom is some crazy psychotic person.
Yeah.
You have to understand, like, okay, maybe.
I think that's why this case has become so popular. And they've made so many shows and media about it because of that what you're saying, the point that you're saying, where it's just like, well, I mean, on paper, if you boil it down, she killed her abuser.
Yeah, abuser,
Yeah. She killed her abuser. But then, like you say, there might have been some actions in between A and C that might have been,
or like moments of clarity where you could have been like, okay, maybe I shouldn't do this.
Even with what you just told us right now, it already is not black and white. You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
And also we don't know how long she's in jail for. So maybe it's just some sort of punishment as opposed to a life sentence.
Yeah.
I don't know though. That's crazy.
It's a rough thing.
Yeah.
Like, especially like, I don't know if kids still, for a while, I mean, when I was younger, I was reading about like kids getting tried as an adult, right? They're getting life in prison without the possibility of parole. Yeah. And a lot of the times when in these situations, like let's say it's a woman, it's a girl that's getting like abused sexually by her father for a long ass time, and then one time she just snaps and then she just kills her father, right? She gets treated like an adult and she gets a life in prison without the possibility of parole, and she's like 16, 17, right? Obviously in my mind, like we said, murder is not the answer, but in a situation like this, it's like, come on. Yeah. Like it's unfair 100%. And not that life's fair at all. Life is unfair. But in situations like that, it's just mind-boggling.
Yeah.
How we can look at that situation and be like, well, you still killed him, so you should go to jail for the rest of your life. Like, yeah, he did that to you, but you still killed him.
But look at also too, she's talking to somebody outside of her.
That is a little bit different.
You know what I mean?
It just reminded me of
the others thing.
Yeah.
But she's talking to somebody, she could have easily said, like, get the cops as opposed to like kill my mom. Like that's
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think, it could have been like, hey, come kidnap me, come take me away. And then once we're safe, I'm gonna make a video and put it on social media.
How old was she?
Late teens, I think.
But also, like, you trying to frame or like, what is it, like, kill your mom and get away with it? That's always going to be.
That was gonna be bad.
That's always going to be.
That's
guilty.
yeah. That's always I mean, that's true.
Yeah.
You can't really.
On first glance, you're thinking like, oh, so she got justice from her abuse, but you can't take justice into your own hands. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some fool calls me fat on the street. I want to fight, but I'm going to just go cry later. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You go cry here.
Yeah. You see me all the time doing that.
Yeah, you cry.
A lot of people do that. Melvin, you're fat.
Yeah, projecting.
Fuck you.
I was gonna say if you guys ever heard about the New York stalker, but I don't know.
Go for it.
I was gonna say about the news.
No, it's just a very quick one. I don't know if it's that. Oh, I look fucking good. The New York stalker. This guy. It was
The
like
what? The Bjork.
Yeah, Bjork.
The artist.
The New York stalker. Yes, this guy in 1996. Let me see. I'm gonna pull up his name. His name was like Richard or something, right? He was like this Mexican dude. He was like the younger guy. He was like 27, right? He was obsessed with Bjork for a long ass time. He's like, I love her. She's amazing, this and that. But he was a little racist. He was a racist guy, right? He was racist against black people, right? And then at that point, she started dating a black guy.
Yeah.
And then for some reason, he bought a camera and then he started recording like everything because he made a plan. And then he recorded 19 hours. And then in the beginning of like his time recording, he basically said like, I don't know why she's dating that black guy. I don't like black people. This is him saying it, not me. Okay. Yeah. Him saying it. And he's basically like, I have to do something about this. I have to end her. I have to kill her. So like he just spends like, for the next couple months, just making a bomb into like a present. So he gets like a book, he opens it up, he starts making a bomb, puts it in there, and his objective is to send it to her so she can open it up and fucking it's like hot acid there. She dies basically.
So
right?
that may sound retarded or dumb, but Bjork is a girl.
Bjork is an Asian artist.
Isn't there
singer.
a white guy named Bjork?
Tom York.
Okay, we'll
That's
get back to
Radiohead.
this.
I'm sure.
Yeah, go for it.
But it's the case is pretty simple, but I think the most crazy thing about it is he recorded 19 hours, right? And then it's him basically making the bomb, talking shit about her, talking shit about other people, talking shit about his family. But it kind of made me feel sad for this guy because there was a lot of times where he talked about people are mean to him, people that don't like him. He was like some lonely ass fucking dude, right? He was in mid-20s and he always felt like he couldn't get girls. It reminded me of like this other guy that I knew right about the cult, where he couldn't really get women. He wasn't good with women. He didn't feel secure in himself. Whereas he went to a cult, this other guy went to another extreme measure. And then the way he talks to his camera is really strange because after a while, this is 96. There's no vlogs, there's no fucking YouTube. Yeah. Like if he wouldn't talk to this camera, he would start recording again. He'd be like, "Hey, sorry guys, I haven't fucking talked to you guys. I've just been dealing with life." And
before YouTube and anything.
Yeah, it's like no one's probably gonna see this, but he felt like the only connection he had was almost like to this fucking camera, this inanimate object, right? Oh. And basically, he starts going crazier and crazier, and then when he finally sends the bomb out, he puts the camera down and he starts painting his face like red, like almost to look like a devil. And the whole time he's like doing these weird facial twitches. He's like, oh, right? He shaves his head, he shaves all of it bald, and then he just looks like the devil, right? And then he feels fulfilled because he sent the bomb. He thinks like, okay, I'm about to kill Bjork finally. And then he puts the tripod down and it's just him. And then he's like, okay, well, I'm gonna finally do it. Because his job was to kill her and then kill himself, right? Because he didn't want to go to jail. So he put the camera down and then like he has like a song of Bjork playing in the background. He has like this painting or like something he drew with like red paint, some devil looking shit. And then he just starts singing and jamming around. Then he just fucking starts hyperventilating. He starts having like a panic attack. He starts like, and he fucking gets a gun and he fucking blows his head off. In front of the camera. And then you could just hear like the blood leaking out of his body, just gushing out. And then no one knew obviously what was going on, right? Until like 4 days later, people were complaining about like, hey, there's a stench up there. What is it? Obviously they go in there, they see like a dude, a fucking with head blown out and looking like the devil. And he did the devil thing. So he said he didn't want him to look like a human when people found him dead. He wanted to look like this fucking other world thing, right? So they're like, what the fuck happened here? Then they looked at the tape. Then they started watching it, and they're like, wait, this guy wants to fucking kill Bjork. So they had to go fucking do the trail, find out where the fucking bomb is at. They had to intercept it in the fucking post office, and they fucking found it. And Bjork was saved.
Oh my God. So the people who reported the stench saved Bjork's life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I knew that she had a stalker. I didn't know that the bomb was already in transit.
Yeah.
So
And I
Bjork
think-
is an Asian woman.
Yeah.
Yes.
What? And so was she American?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. But it just, dude, he recorded everything. And then he
The whole
recorded,
time I'm just thinking she's Asian.
he recorded everything, man. And it's so
It's like from Iceland.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, then that makes more sense.
Yeah.
And it makes me sad because guys like that, people like that, they're very common out there in real life. I guess now they're called incels.
Yeah.
People that.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but yes.
Okay, well.
Stalkers are still stalkers.
No, this was talking. I'm talking about the guy that,
Yeah.
the kind of guy that just like.
But not all incels are stalkers.
No, but I'm just saying,
And
like, guys are.
Yeah. And incels, like, just so like clarification, like incels, they lack women's touch. That guy's not an incel. This guy's a fucking maniac.
No, he's that too. I mean, I'm saying he's all of these. He's all of these.
Combined.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Because he's a stalker, he's a psycho, and he also doesn't have any interaction with women.
Hates women, yeah.
And he hates women, basically. So he's all of these combined. And that's very common nowadays, right? And just to see the lengths that these people go to, like what goes in their mind, like they see an artist and something ticks and their racism makes them want to just like, all right, I'm just going to kill this lady because she dated a black guy. And I don't know, it just, the whole thing trips me out. The fact that he would want to film the fact that he felt so passionate about this like idea that she should not be dating a black person because I don't like black people. I have to just end her life and end whatever's going on. I have to take that into my hands and fucking ruin her. And also I'm going to film the whole thing. I'm going to film myself fucking playing with my wiener. He fucking filmed himself just messing with his wiener.
Oh, you left that part out.
Yeah. He filmed everything and he was just like talking to this camera. You're watching this dude and then he's talking to you like he's like you're there. Like, hey, right now I'm gonna be working on this.
Like
and
he's Logan Paul.
yeah, like it's like a fucking vlog or something. And then he looks like sometimes he's just laughing, he's chilling, he's just watching TV. And you're like, what did you want? Like, what is the whole idea behind filming everything?
Yeah.
And it's obviously it gets crazy at the end when you see him blow his head off. And that's ridiculous.
You saw all this?
Yeah.
Oh my.
I didn't see
19
it-
hours?
I didn't see it on 19 hours. I saw like the first hour and then like the last 30 minutes before.
It's
he
still
shut himself.
online?
I saw it on YouTube, I think. Or
No,
you
it's not on
you just gotta look it up.
Okay.
You just gotta
yeah.
look a little hard.
Damn, that's crazy, dude. I
Yeah.
did not know anything about that.
Really?
No.
You've heard about it?
I heard about it, yeah. But I didn't know the fucking bomb was already in transit. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Bjork stalker.
Wow.
Bjork Stalker. Yeah.
I'll look into that.
I'll show you the video right now. No, after.
I'm
after.
cool off that, but yeah, I'll look into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, it's on my phone here. I'm texting it to you now.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, we watch it for Patreon.
Well,
No.
I think that's it, boys. I think those are all the cases.
Yeah, no, I think we solved everything here today.
Yeah. And I think we're gonna put a lot of people behind bars today.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not getting off on that, but yes.
Well, I am.
I believe we made the city a better place.
Yeah.
I believe we made this country a better place.
You've been doing it for decades. Centuries.
I'm 3 million years old.
Millennials.
I was first hired when a T-Rex was like, I think that Velociraptor fucked up my Triceratops.
Okay, so
Let me look into that.
Wait, that implies that there was slavery in the dinosaur times.
No, they hired me.
my side, right? Yeah.
And then they talked to me, and then they were like, I don't speak English. And I was like, and they were like,
Well, I'll tell you what. If you made it this far, give us a couple more cases to solve, and we'll do our best to on the next edition of True Crime-Isimo.
yeah, it also helps if they're already solved.
Yeah.
It helps us a lot.
Yeah.
Helps us a lot.
Yeah, quite a lot. Quite a
Yeah.
lot.
And also, if we got anything wrong, please make sure to yell at us in the comments because that's
Yes.
what you guys did last time.
Yeah.
And we're just talking it out, guys. It's probably better if we don't know all the facts because then you guys can
Yeah.
solidify what you know.
Did I make up a lot of stuff today? Yes.
Bjork stalker.
No. Did we do research? No.
Yeah.
Okay, show the paper. What did you draw on the fucking paper? That's a dick.
I was trying to draw Joel.
Oh, okay.
That's a compare and
What
contrast
does it say
chart.
there? Rook?
It says Joel is a puto.
Oh, it does.
That's
say
a
that.
compare
What does
and
this
contrast.
say?
It says Tommy. That's all it says is Tommy.
Oh, I wrote Annie. Are you okay?
Oh, Annie, are you okay?
Is she?
Is she? But thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. If you can, please rate us on Apple and Spotify. And like I said, comment below what do you want us to cover next on True Crime-Isimo.
Yes. Twitch.tv/IsimoWorld.
Yes. Patreon.com/IsimoPod.
Okay, bye.